Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Talkie Tuesday with me, your host, Winters SEO. Yes, I'm here. I'm an hour late. Okay? We've got a lot of Warhammer to talk about. I'm an hour late, and there's one of those football matches going on between the French and the Spanish right about now. Hey chat, or anyone who drops in later on, let me know the score, right? So that's going on. So we're competing with that right now. Tell you what though, if it was France versus England in the finals, we're all wargamers here. I think I'm mainly talking to the VOD squad. There is a chat. Hi chat, welcome this evening. Sorry I'm late, but there's a football match going on. But we're all wargamers here. The French versus the English. Look, we're all friends now. Okay? But, Agincourt, you know? The internet would explode. The memes, if it was England versus France in the finals, it would be incredible. Ah, dear. You know, it makes you feel patriotic, but in a good way. Okay, we're all friends now. We're all wargamers. Bit of Wellington going on. That's Trafalgar, wasn't that Spanish? Imagine if it was Spanish versus English in the finals. We're all wargamers here. Anyway, so that's what we're competing with this evening, guys. That's going on, and I'm not even bothered. I'm here streaming with you because I've got to make a public service apology again, 2 weeks in a row. I want to shout out the Hobby Apocalypse guys because they're amazing. We've got to review some of the new stuff that's come out. If we ever get to that, it'll be a miracle. We have to talk about some of the YouTube inception that's happened recently, which has been incredible, regarding Horus Heresy 3. And I want to talk about Zone Mortalis. I can't even remember where I put the book. It's good. You'll hear me saying Zone Mortalis is good quite a bit. And there's probably a bit that I want to cut out of this live stream about Zone Mortalis and stick it on the internet. Because it's not often we get to say that Games Workshop products are good, you know? I mean, good. Lots of them are mid. Some of them are good. When you get a good codex in your hand. When you get a good edition, because there've been a lot of bad. Or things that don't appeal to you. You might have tried Necromunda or Blood Bowl or things like that, and they don't appeal. They don't tickle the fanny. So it's good. And I want to talk about that. So we've got a lot to get through, and I've got a bad back. I'm old. I've got a compressed disc, and sometimes it goes, and then I take these pills, and yeah, they work, but feeling a little bit stoned. So we've got all this to get through, and the football. But before any of that, and the Hobby Apocalypse, and the public apology, let's talk to the chat. There's very few of us in this evening. So shout out VOD Squad. Anyone watching this as a VOD later, love you guys. Thank you. Love my community. Hi chat. Let's have a chat. How have we been before we warm it up? Second public service apology in a row. You know, like last week. You've got to get ahead of the PR on this. You've got to get ahead of the PR curve. Public relations disaster happening in 2 battle reports. Hello, Brain Jar. Hi, Just Craig. Good evening. How are you doing? I'm doing really well, Just Craig. I'm looking forward to our game on Friday where we're going to film a Zone Mortalis one with the intention of getting Zone Mortalis up on Sunday. And I've read the rules and I like it. Just Craig, I hope you liked it too. I survived the last heatwave too, Timothy. Watching me and the football, that's like Inception level shit. And we're going to get into some Inception level stuff later on. Believe that. When we talk about Mordian Glory, we'll get into it. But we're good, chat. We're good. Okay. Are we locked in? When will the big poggy... Listen. Hi, guys. Thank you, everyone who took part in this year's Hobby Apocalypse. I love my community. For those who are not in the community... What we do is once a year, every year, from January to July, commit to painting 250 models a month, every month, any system, doesn't matter. And then at the end of the 6-month period, you painted up 1,500 point models and you share those pictures and your stories in the community. And we make a video on it once a month and shout out the things that tickle our fanny. And it's been great this year. And I've taken part in it myself, and Brab has taken part in it. And it's just been lovely. Watching people's hobbies explode, because nothing better than an exploding hobby, you know. Just Craig is liking Zone Mortalis 2. Looking thematic. Love the differences. Telling dice with stories. Looking thematic. That is the theme of tonight's podcast chat. Telling dice with stories. Can we get a couple of thumbs up? That'd be lovely. A like or two. We're competing with a football tonight. 25 people. We're competing with a football tonight. Shout out Pod Squad. Right, listen. So while there's a few less of you here, we'll get ahead. We'll do the public service announcement. Apology first, okay? So last week in the battle report, I may have made a terrain mistake. I'm terribly... We're learning together. It's a new edition. Overall, it happened a lot. Did it change the outcome of the game? Probably not. And then on Sunday, I may have forgotten that my Locust Destroyers do critical hits on 5s for the entire battle, despite knowing that rule and playing with that rule for the last 3 or 4 years. Would it have changed the final outcome of the battle? Probably not, but I apologise for it. I apologise, guys. I forgot a rule, despite the fact in the warm-up, I'm looking at the armies saying, this is a rule that I've got, that I've used many times. I forgot a rule. I bet none of you have forgotten a Warhammer rule ever. I'm sorry. And you know what? How I found out that I forgot the rule? Not all the way through the game. Neither of us reminded each other. Not when I'm editing the game and I see it again and again and again. No, I get a message from a friend who doesn't even play Warhammer 40k. He said, I watched your battle report. I see you made a mistake all the way through it. So at least we're reaching new audiences is all I can say. You know, at least it gets the conversation going. I don't think it would have changed the outcome of the game, but I hereby apologise. I will not make a Warhammer mistake again. This is going to be a mistake-free channel going forward, okay? Mistakes, what are they? Only perfection. Like the Emperor's Children, we will be the perfect Warhammerers. Yes, we will. My guests... I'll try, but some of them are wild animals, okay? Like Just Craig. He's a wild animal. I can barely keep him contained, okay? He's chewing the ankles. He's going for the furniture. He's a difficult man to contain. He's a war gamer, okay? He's an alpha male. If we were in the caves back in the day, hunting the caribou, wrapped up in furs, Just Craig is the alpha. Okay, I know he doesn't look like it, but he'll be directing all the hunters. He'll be a war gamer. They'll be killing all the caribou. Okay, he'll be. If he takes any hits and wounds, it's those guys. It's the guys that you tell the dice. You tell the stories with the dice. It's those guys. They take the hits. And Warhammer is about telling stories with dice. Second edition Horus Heresy. I constantly forgot twin link weapons. This is what, like, whenever he plays anyone, says Just Craig. The amount of times I have to tell him his stats and his rules is unreal. Listen, on Wednesday, tomorrow, for Tier 3 channel members, there's an epic battle report coming out between me and Warsmith Chris. Warsmith Chris's first game of Warhammer 40k 11th edition. He's excited, guys. He had 0 painted orcs 6 months ago. He's nearly got 2,000 points of painted orcs. And this is Warsmith Chris we're talking about. We're going to see his orcs on the channel. I'm excited. He was excited to play 11th edition. He brought round his Black Templars. I ran the End of All Things, the Death Guard, against him for the first time. It comes out tomorrow for Tier 3 channel members. Awesome battle report. Great to see Chris again. We were telling stories with dice, and that's what Warhammer's all about. And I called him the Emperor's Children, the Black Templars. I apologize for calling the Black Templars the Emperor's Children. I was pulling it out of the air. I don't know where that was coming from. That's on tomorrow's battle report. Apart from that mistake, and he corrected me like 3 times, maybe because of the Emperor's Champion is in the Emperor's Children. I think that's what it is, okay? It was a normal Sunday. It was this Sunday. It was a bit hot in that room. Can we say it's a bit hot in that room? I think at the end, when I pull the camera up to Warsmith Chris's face, he is perspiring. Okay, you can basically see the demon trying to break through the layers of filth and scum that surround that flesh sack of a man. this. So yeah, I call the Black Templars the Emperor's Children. But apart from those mistakes, I apologise to the internet. This will be Emperor's Children now, perfection. We're going to reach perfection and not make any mistakes. Just Craig, when you're here on Friday and we record this Zone Mortalis game, which is coming out on Sunday, because I'm excited to play a bit of Zone Mortalis. It's a good expansion. I think I've mentioned that already. You'll hear me say Zone Mortalis is good quite a lot during this broadcast. What is this? I don't know what this is, but whatever it is, I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun too. Don't forget to like and thumb up and stream prime, attach primes. So yeah, I forgot a thing. That's my public service apology, chat. I'm sorry for getting a thing. I called the Black Templars Emperor's Children. How to start another sector-wise crisis. I know, right? Call the Inquisitor. I don't think the Crusade guy, Black Crusade, he's not here this evening. Names evade me. I'm 53. Marry who? One of my what? Blood Buffalo. The Eternal Crusader is here. He is here. Welcome to the chat. He's eternal and he's a crusader. I'm sorry for calling them Emperor's Children. It was the Emperor's. I don't know. It's a good battle report though. You'll have fun. Emperor's Children like this edition because of the -1 ballistic skill getting shot at. They felt more Emperor's Children-y than I've played. It's the first time I played the Emperor's Children this edition, and they felt more Emperor's Children-y than they did for 10th. If that makes any kind of sense. It just felt a bit more Black Templar-y. It felt a bit more crunchy. I liked it. Oh, I liked it. Don't be cross. I'm saying it was a good game, Eternal Crusader. You're going to like it. Just, it's a roller coaster of emotions on this live stream. You know these things. As Ronan Keating once said, life is a roller coaster, just got to ride it. That's like the hobby. I want to talk about the hobby. I am going to talk about the hobby this evening and telling stories with dice, and we'll talk about that. This weekend's UFC. Wow. Assuming you watched. Well, no, I didn't actually. I'll tell you something, Blood Buffalo. I've fallen out of love with the UFC. No, not that. It's just, look, hobbies are hard to stay in for long periods of time, and I've been in the yeah. So and there's TMT or something on YouTube. You get a lot of UFC for free on YouTube now. So I've just started watching the YouTube free stuff and cancelled my UFC subscription. I found I wasn't watching it as much. I found all I wanted to do was like, share and subscribe to Winter's SEO. That's what I found. Even when I was watching the UFCs, I was finding myself turning off and watching my battle reports because they're so damn good. The whole world deserves to see this level of artistry, particularly when I promise to stop forgetting the things. I'm very old. I promise at least. I probably will forget a few more, but I try. What army are you most looking forward to playing in a length that you have yet to play yet? That is a good question. What army am I most looking forward to playing? Well, I'll tell you what. This weekend, there's I'm doing 2 narrative ones. I'm playing against Krieg, so that'll be attacking. And I'm playing against Cheeseman and his Space Wolves, and they are beautiful Space Wolves with loads of customizable bits and green stuff galore. And his Space Wolves, we celebrated that on the Hobby Apocalypse, posting pictures after pictures after pictures. I'm looking forward to both of them. So listen, I've been in the hobby a long time and the editions change. And I play a lot of Warhammer. I'm so fortunate to be able to play loads of Warhammer because of you guys. Thank you for being here. From my point of view, because I get to play it a lot, it's not about, I'm not looking forward to certain factions. I'm looking forward to this weekend and playing those games, and then next weekend and playing those games, and in the week and playing those games. I'm just looking forward to telling dice with stories and hanging out and telling stories with dice. Telling dice with stories. Hanging out, having fun, enjoying my Warhammers. Yeah, That's what I look forward to. It changes so much, this hobby. It changes so much. The level of violence in a 40k game far outweighs that of MMA matches. The level of violence, Timothy, in 40k far outmatches any other IPO, franchise, PTO, ITC. The violence in, I don't know if you've heard, but it's grim in the dark. They do those YouTube videos like, who would win? 40k versus Star Wars. Star Wars lasts about 2 seconds. 40k eats them. 40k has got the things that are eating the things that are eating the things. You've got the event pack for Damocles. Yes, guys, good. Daniel, welcome. Glad that you got the event pack, that you can't wait, building my new army up in readiness. Yes, thank you, Daniel. Let's shout out this. 15 tickets left. I'm doing a 4-mission 2-day narrative event at the 10th and 11th of October at Element Games in Stockport in Manchester, and you can buy the tickets from marchofwar.co.uk if you want to come along and take part in our 4-game 2-day event, lunch provided both days. It's set in the Damocles Gulf. 15 tickets remain. For those of you that know, for those of you that don't know, the Damocles Gulf is a bit of Tau space, which was once the edge of the Tau western border, and a big part of the reason why they were never found by people and left alone for a long period of time in order to evolve in the way they did, and the warp storms. But anyway, big blank area of space. Farsight's on the other side, the Farsight enclaves. Horus of the Tau is over there. He's got a different story to tell. No ethereal gonna get him down, no. And then there's the 5th spear through the Startide Nexus in Imperial Nihilus, but that's a whole story for another day. Anyway, the Damocles Gulf, dark bit of space. It's set here in the darkness. The Gulf was once set ablaze by the Mechanicum. How cool is that? That was the Battle of Muglith Bay. The culmination of the Battle of Muglith Bay. The last Raven Guard chapter master died there. Was killed by Shadow Sun. Anyway, we're set there. There's a signal coming out of the Gulf. The signal is very visible, very powerful, in the visible spectrum, in the warp, everywhere. You're sent in to check it out. Strike team sent in to check it out into the black. And obviously, there's about 89 other people who've been sent into the black as well to check out this signal. The source of potential unimaginable power. Will you ever return? It was set alight. It's a dark. There's not many systems there, just 1 or 2. And vast areas of space. I think this is inspired by real science. Isn't there a spot in the universe somewhere where there's nothing? It's a bit like that. So yeah, come along. That's going to be glorious. I'm looking forward to that one. You ever play the 40k RPG line? No. I did play a lot of role-playing games when I was growing up, when I was a teenager. And then later I did semi-systemless role-playing games set in a world that I myself created and was the dungeon master of. Yeah, that level of nerd. That's what you're dealing with here. 1984, I've been in Warhammer. 1984. Here's the thing that we can talk about. I've been in the Warhammers a long time. Okay, chat, lock in for this one because I might cut this one out and no, I'm not going to cut this one out. I'm not going to cut this. Spain 2, France 0. It's Trafalgar then. Awesome. We've got to beat the Argentinians first. The internet is going to explode. But Messi. Let's not look. We're nearly at 50 people now with the front Spain thing going on. So we're going to lock in. This isn't a bit that I'm going to cut out of the thing. But what were we talking about a minute ago? The stories. The Damocles Gulf. Where we're going. What we're doing. Yeah. Late to the stream. Only running 17 minutes this week. What? I have no idea what that means. But welcome to the stream, Peppermint Shaw. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to the stream. Wrath of Constantine. RPG, says Dre. I've got Spain in the sweepstakes, so I'm happy. Blue Ryu 40k. I hope you hit that sweepstake, baby. Dung, 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 dung. Sweepstake, baby. I could barely speak there. My money is on the Kroot winning every battle they're in during the campaign. That would be glorious. So yeah, that's the Damocles thing. It's going to be fun. The one that we did last year. Anyway, it was really good. And I'm looking forward to this one. Right. What the hell was I talking about, chat? I was talking about a bit and cutting out a bit, and that reminded me of a bit that Mordy and Glory did about me, which was a part of a bit that I did. That's what I wanted to talk about. But, you know, the cutting out thing. But Servo Skull has just swung into the chat and gifted 5 SEO memberships. Thank you so much, Servo Skull. Can we give a GG's in the chat to Servo Skull? Thank you. Thank you, guys. I've been in the hobby since 1984, okay? I'm in it for the love, baby. And these days, I'm also in it for the money, so I appreciate it. But I was in it for the love long before I was in it for the money. Now I'm in it for the love and the money, because the money allows me to share all of this hobby with you, which is awesome. The internet, apparently. The internet, you can watch people play other stuff. The amount of stuff I watch of people playing other stuff, it's glorious. So thank you. I mean, I've been in the hobby for a long time. And I'm still here. And I was thinking about Mordy and Glory and so here's the really... Imagine if he cuts this bit. Imagine if Mordy and Glory cuts this bit out of the bit that... Listen, because I was thinking about Mordy and Glory because he posted a video, right? Which was cut out of a live stream that he did where he talks about a video that I made, which was cut out of a live stream I did. It's Inception levels of YouTube right here. It's hilarious. It's great. And then now I'm talking about the video that he made, which was cut out of a video that I made, which was a cut out of a video that I was in when I was live, and I'm now talking about those videos, and he might now put a thing in on top of this one as well. It just blows my Inception YouTube brain that this could be happening. It's intense. And we were talking, and it was about Horus Heresy 3.0, and at the same time I took part in another video that SM Battle Reports put out for the 1 year anniversary of Horus Heresy 3, and I was in that as well. And yeah, and I want to say, for the record, that I enjoy Horus Heresy 3. Okay? There, I've said it. I enjoy Horus Heresy 3. But, here's the big but. I enjoyed Horus Heresy 2 more. But, here's the big but. I've been in the hobby since 1984. I've been in the hobby a long time. And I'm still here. And it's very, very hard to stay in a hobby that moves around you. The lore moves around you. God, the lore moves. Oh my God, the lore moves. Sometimes in the most surprising of ways. The paints move around you. The paint range. The original OG, the 13th color scheme. Nothing matches that. Nothing. I tell you, nothing. That's why the second company of the 13th look a little bit different. The models change around you. The models no longer are the models that they were. And some of them then become illegal that they were. Words and things fill in the sentence. You get where I'm coming from. Everything changes in this hobby. And you get to a point where you either leave, move with the changes, or move on to other systems like Conflict 47, or into Horus Heresy, or into Old World. You just move on into these other systems instead. The hobby changes, the painting changes, the lore changes, Your models are no longer valid. Your armies are no longer valid. The game changes around you. You leave, you change, or you just finally reach acceptance. It's the many layers of grief. You finally reach acceptance in the end. Thank you, Greg Shimlin, for 10 gifted memberships. You absolute legend. Can we get him some GGs in the chat, please? Thank you. Because listen, this is the thing of it. I've enjoyed some editions over other editions, but I've always played every edition since 4th and every edition of Heresy and many other systems as well. And I've always changed to the new system because some people either stick with the old system, that happens. Some people leave. Some people change systems. Some people, but so there's some people. The last event I was at, King of the North, the evening before King of the North, there was 8 lads playing on the top table, and I wandered over to see what they were doing because it looked like 40k, but it didn't look like 40k, and I got chatting to them, and they said, oh yeah, me and my mates, we just stuck with 8th, and there was like 8 or 10 of them there, and this was 10th, this was like end of 10th edition, and they just stuck with 8th, and that's what they chose to do. Fair play to those lads playing 40k your way. So yeah, you can do that. You can leave. You can change to other systems, or you could just acceptance. It is the 5 layers of grief, and you accept a couple of things. One, if you're in the hobby to win, or if you're in the hobby because you like telling stories with dice. Now you can be in both camps. You can do both. But if you're in it to win, then the hobby is going to keep changing around you. And 40k is a content churn live service model intended to generate revenue. That's what it is. That's what Warhammer 40k is. Here's the kicker. It's been that way for a long time. It's been that way since the start of 8, since they've reset everything. And then there was a 6 monthly update straight away, which they'd never done before. And then a year and a half in, we had Psychic Awakening kicked in. You had 2 Space Marine codexes in 8th edition. Boom, boom. The live service content churn started back then. It's just accelerated recently. The hobby changes around you. Here's the kicker, though. That model has been good for Games Workshop. Their shares have gone through the roof because most people aren't gamers. Games Workshop's own stats tell them that 80% of their customers, miniature customers, are collectors. That's what they tell us in their annual shareholder report thing that comes out every year. They talk about it in there. They talk about all sorts of things in there. It's a big document, but they do publish it. And that's where you get to find out things like the new factory coming to accelerate production capacity, the new paint factory that they're building on site, they've got planning permission for, they're going to start making their own paints. The hobby's going to change us around us. And this edition of paints will not match the next edition of paints. Oh no, they'll be a little bit off, just a little bit off. That'll be baked into it because 40k is I wrote it down, content churn live service model intended to generate revenue. And oh boy, is it generating revenue. And if you want to compete, you've got to spend a lot more money. And if you want to be good at the game, you've got to spend more money. Seems to be working. But that's because the primary audience that they're pumping out all this content churn is not to gamers. They're pumping it out to the hobby community. Now, what they did do is find a way to monetize gamers a bit better, which was accelerate it so gamers buy more. And they kind of did that to AOS, and they kind of did that to Horus Heresy. They thought, okay, 3-year cycle, let's do the content churn. And it kind of backfired on them. And I think they got the message. Because here's the thing, he had Old World Old World has recently dropped a thing saying that they're not changing anything. There's a new box coming out with the Jade Warriors, Cathay, brutal army, very strong army. I've seen Sultan use that. I'm getting Old World, guys. I've got Old World. There's 4,100 points of Beastman there, and Old World videos will be coming to Winter Setio very soon. I went to see Say Hi Paul at the weekend, all the way up north to the frozen north. It was still hot up there. It's been hot. And anyway, to play some Old World. It's been glorious. That video will be coming out on Say Hi Paul, Say Hi Paul's YouTube channel. Check it out. Give him a like, thumbs up, subscribe. Tell him I sent you. Say hi. What the hell was I talking about? I went to see Say Hi Paul. Heresy, 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 blah, blah. Generating revenue. Games Workshop has made a lot of money. And to stick in this hobby, you've got to really like telling stories with dice in the Warhammer ecosystem, whatever that may be. And I haven't played a bad edition of Warhammer 40k or Horus Heresy. I've played editions that I prefer and editions where I wanted to change more. There's never been an edition where I've looked at it and thought, this is perfect, don't touch it. Even second edition Horus Heresy, I was like, this is perfect, don't touch it. I was not that. There's like Contemptor Dreadnoughts, I would have fixed them by going up 50 points. I would have taken away Artificer Armor. This is a change that they did do in third edition. I would have put in initiative modifiers like they did in third edition. That's what I would have done. There are some things I would have changed. I would have introduced restrictions, and I would have introduced missions, more missions. Like there's 6 in the back of the book in second ed. I would have had 12. And I would have had 6 narrative hobbyist ones and 6 other missions which were more competitive for those people who want to scratch that itch, and I'd have put that in the second edition rulebook. So some of the things that they did I would have included, but there's no edition that I've played where I thought I don't want to play this edition, and there's no edition that I've played that I thought this is perfect, don't touch it, please, dear God, I love it, Warhammer, best thing ever, you know. This is just ones that I prefer over others. And with the change for 40k to 11th edition, I'm looking forward to playing, I have been looking forward to playing 40k 11th edition and seeing the new combinations and seeing the different ways to tell stories with dice. And the same with the Heresy. I've been enjoying finding out the new combinations. Winning's nice, but it's not the primary thing on my mind when I play Warhammer now. And I don't think it's been for a long time, unless I play against people who really want to win. When you play, and that actually, to be fair, I do that about 25% of the time. And that's fun too, because when I'm playing against people who like do want to win, which is fun, that's their hobby, that's what, and then I can turn it up. I'm like, look, who's the daddy now? I've been in this hobby since 1984, son. I've been in it for the love. I've been in it for a long, long time. And I will be in it when this whole YouTube thing ends, when I'm too old to keep doing this. And I'm 53 right now. Don't know how long this is going on. What's the retirement plan? Is there a pension? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. And when I'm not doing the YouTube thing, guess what? I'm still going to be playing the Warhammers, because this is my hobby. Other hobbies have gone. Blood Buffalo's like, hey, did you watch the fight of the weekend with the UFC? And I'm like, no, why? That hobby is gone. I watch a bit of it on YouTube now, but I was subscribed to UFC and watched. That was my sport. That and American football. Now, American football is back. I've been watching that for like the last 5-6 years, but at various points in my life, I stopped it. I was mad in it in the 80s. They're mad in it when I was at university. They're mad in it for a period of 3 or 4 years after a work gap thing. It just, yeah, and now I'm back. But Warhammer's another hobby, and it's just stuck. Since 1984. It's August next month. That's 13 years of YouTube. 2026, so 2013 I started, yeah. And for the last 6 years, I've been able to do this full time because of my wonderful community. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to say. I like the Warhammers. I've always liked the Warhammers. There's some Warhammers I prefer other Warhammers. No Warhammers is perfect. I miss 2nd edition Horus Heresy. But I miss the buzz at the start of 8th edition. That was fun. And I miss the buzz at the start of 5th. These are 5th edition, first 2 years. 8th edition, first 2 years. Horus Heresy 2.0, 3 years. That is when I've spent the most amount of money on this hobby. And when I say the most amount of hobby, I mean an obscene amount of hobby money. That works a lot. At the start of Heresy 2, I had 0 legions. Now I've got 5 or 6, I don't know. There's a few. Dear. At the start of 8th edition, I had, and we were on the channel for that one, I had the Admech and I had the 13th. And at the end, Tyranids, Death Guard, Grey Knights, Custodes, I think that's it. Imperial Knights were always a thing because they were an Admech thing anyway. I think that was the 8th splurge. And I'm looking forward to the next time one of those urges come. There's going to be another time where it just grabs me by the balls and I end up spending lots of money. We're in between those times now. But I've been in the hobby since 1984 and I'm enjoying it now, and I'm looking forward to Zone Mortalis, Horus Heresy 3. We're going to review that later because it's good. It's good. I'm going to play Just Craig on Friday, film that one, get it up for Sunday. It's good. I'm looking forward to the 2 games that I've got against the weekend, against Cheeseman and his Space Wolves and Killer Kriegman. 2,500 points of Krieg. There's many stages of grief, but eventually you just accept it and get that. Get that feeling when you think about the Krieg. It's a spooky ghost. He stole all the internet. It was just a ghost. Randy, we need some of the internet. He used all the internet. Hi, a long time since I didn't come around. I came here from Morty and Glorious channel when he talked about you. Hi, Bobby Watson. You might want to rewind the video. I mentioned Morty and Glorium, and I think I'm just finishing a big rant, which is kind of a response to his response. And his response was a bit that he cut out of a live stream that he did when he was responding to me for a video that I made, which was a bit that I cut out from a live stream that I did, and now I'm talking about those bits that cut out from the other bits on the bits. This is Inception YouTube right now. This is where we are. I'm loving it. This is one of the glorious things about being able to do this. Servo Skulls just dropped me $20. Hell yeah! Here's to another 13 years, he says. Thank you, Servo Skull. I love you. Thank you. Appreciate you. I appreciate all my members, the people who let me keep doing this. It's insane that I am doing this. It's insane. This doesn't happen to someone when they're 53. Yeah. Miss Randon, should there be more narrative games where each person has multiple win conditions that only matter to them, e.g. killing character with a librarian? Scoring can be an optional. I mean, quite simply, they launched Warhammer 40k 11th edition, and the core rulebook is the first core rulebook they've ever released without any missions in. Took us 11 editions to get here, but we got here. And Horus Heresy 3, there's 3 missions in. And you're asking, should there be more? Listen, yes. The rulebooks should have many ways to play in the main rulebooks. That should be for entry-level people to help get them in the game. They should be there. And there should be narrative. And there should be... I talked about it early in the stream. They should. If I was doing Horus Heresy 2, I would have the 6 missions that we have. No, if I was doing Horus Heresy 3, I'd have the 6 missions that... Listen, we can have both. But right now we have no narrative. Nothing at all. And it's down to us to make our own narrative for our own war games. And I think, see, that's... If you stay in the hobby... You can do whatever you want. You can play their game. You can play your narrative game. But they should really... I mean, it should just be in the main rulebook. Like, I was thinking... I like that rant. That was a top tier rant with feeling. Thanks. Because I got another rant coming for you, Stuart. Lock in for this one. What the hell was I talking about? God damn it. What did I finish talking about, chat? And what's the score? Is it still Spain 2, France 0? Is it over now? 41 viewers. Hi VOD squad. Thanks for watching this as a VOD afterwards, as well as you guys in the live stream. I appreciate you. But the France-Spain thing's got to be over. There's got to be a splurge. No? We're good. Shall I go on to the Zone Mortalis thing? I'll pick up the Zone Mortalis book. Drop any questions. I need to wave it in the screen. Where the hell did I put it? No. No. It's not these. These are other ones. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I just scared my kittens. Anyway, shout out Morning Glory and all the other YouTubers doing it out there and all the community. You know, you realise that this YouTube Warhammer community is like talking about layers of inception. Like you and my community inside the Warhammer, well, my community, that's very presumptuous. But you're inside a community, a like-minded group of people in the Warhammers, in YouTube, down a thing. But then you go back to the YouTube's thing. The whole Warhammer YouTube's thing isn't that big compared to all the people in the Warhammers. There's millions of them. There's the Henry Cavills talking about UFC fighters. There's the Sean Stricklands as well. He loves the Warhammers. Lots of people in the Warhammers. Shout out Henry. We're a tiny little bit. And I do think, though, that we do make a nice vocal... a median somewhere. If you take all the voices on YouTube, there's a median there that you can draw down each thing. Like the median. Like this is probably what your community's thinking. So there's that. That's good. That's good. So we've got a general idea, I think. But God damn it. We're a lovely bunch. We love this hobby. We love wargaming. We really love wargaming. Screaming about it. On the old YouTubes. Or listen to other people scream about it on the YouTubes. That's fun too. Who doesn't like a good scream? We'll talk about Zone Mortalis. I want to lock into the chat. But this is good. Okay, they done good with this one. We're going to talk about this one. And this one is probably going to be the video that I'm going to cut out of this video to make a video, because I think people need to know about this one. But before that, we'll lock in. And before we lock into that, we'll go into the chat. Okay. Is the France-Spain thing over? 10 minutes left, still 2-0. Right, good. Mini Wargit, what MG would love to make a HH second battle report. Mini Wargit? MG, who's MG? Would love to make a HH second ed battle report with you. Who's MG? You could bring back the game. Oh, Modern Glory. Here's an answer to that one. I've been playing 2nd edition Horus Heresy. And I've been playing 2nd edition Horus Heresy for a while. Because when you're in a hobby that keeps changing around you, you either accept it and change with it, and that's part of the hobby. See, I did that. Like, I've been in the hobby since 1984. If this was exactly the same hobby that it was in 1984, then I probably wouldn't be in it. Part of the genius that Games Workshop came up with is always changing the hobby. And to stay in it, you've got to just accept it and stay in it. But it's not the same hobby. It keeps shifting and shifting and shifting. It's not the same hobby. It's not the same paint. It's not the same models. It's not the same. Since so much has changed since 1984. A wall came down. We stopped wearing fluorescent clothes. Okay. Duran, I don't know what happened to them. Something came around called an internet, and then the world exploded as far as I can see. I think we reached peak humanity in the 90s, somewhere along there. We seem to have turned it down to there's some stuff going on right about now. I'm enjoying immersing myself in Warhammer more. The hobby changes. So you either just ride or you leave or into other systems. Heresy was that system. So they've gone as well. They didn't understand the audience. Or you stick in an edition. Now, I've been playing some 2nd edition Horus Heresy with Steve, not Rob. He's stuck in 2nd edition Horus Heresy, and we'll film one. I film one. And we're going to put it on the YouTubes. Because I've been playing it anyway. Do it, Winters. Play Horus Heresy 2nd Ed. I've told you. Love Durandran. Who doesn't like Durandran? Wild Boys. Wild Boys. Never losing. Dude, when I was a teenager, Mad Max. Oh my God. Wild Boys. Games Workshop did Dark Future because of all that was going down. They wanted to get in on the Mad Max vibes. The Wild Boys are calling on their way back from the fire. An August moon, do. Something on the wire. They tried to tame us. Looks like they'll try again. Duran. The 80s, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that missed it, I am truly sorry for you. It was a wild ride. Duran made the best Bond theme song. Did they? Yes, they did. That one was good too. Right, okay. So, chat. We're going to talk about Zone Mortalis. Just Craig, you still here? Talk to me, Just Craig. You're my only hope. We're filming one on Friday. We're going to put a Zone Mortalis Horus Heresy 3 on Sunday. The one tomorrow for Tier 3 channel members is me versus Warsmith Chris. I use the Death Guard for the first time this edition. Chris uses his Black Templars for the first time this edition. It's amazing. We had fun. Still here is Just Craig. Barbarella. Duran is still touring. My friend, Grey Knight SEO, I bet you can't tell what he plays. He went to see System of a Down yesterday in the Tottenham Stadium. He said it was packed and hot, mental. and he said, I still can't feel my left leg. And then a month ago, he was at the Metallica one in Cardiff. This guy's like 45. He should calm down. What were dinosaurs like? Yeah, D's. I tell you what. Eldar on dinosaurs. I thought I'd never see the day. I've always said the Eldar are the greatest faction in Warhammer 40k. Always. And now they've finally put them on dinosaurs. They're going to sell them by the bucket. Eldar on dinosaurs. Dinosaurs in 40k. I'm surprised. Do you realise next year, 2027, is 40 years of 40k? It took them 40 years to get here and realise dinosaurs sell. Dinosaurs with laser beams strapped to their heads, going up against land raiders and Kriegers, are entrenched 100 lasgun flash gun line. They're just there to slow it down. It's like wading, like when you wade through a really deep bog and it's like you don't know if you're when you were a kid, you probably haven't done this for a long time. Let's face it, we're all unks in the chat. When you're wading through, you remember when you were younger and you waded through a deep bog with your wellies on and you thought, maybe I'm not getting to the other side, I'm probably losing a welly. That feeling, that is what the Velociraptor dinosaurs with laser beams strapped to the sides of their head with a space elf on the back of. This is a space elf riding Velociraptor through a bog. That bog is the Krieger line. That's what it feels like. Shout out while we're talking about Velociraptors. Sam Neill, what a legend. R.I.P. We salute another fallen legend. Damn, it took them 40 years to put dinosaurs in 40k, but god damn, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Hell yeah, baby. Sometimes they get it right. And one of the things they got right was Horus Heresy's Zone Mortalis. I might have mentioned it's good already in the live stream. We need a last look at the chat, then we'll talk about Zone Mortalis. So chat, am I keeping you alive? Are you not entertained? Thumbs up, like, subscribe, Winter's SEO YouTube channel. Electrolytes, by the way, changed my life. Glass a day with electrolytes in. Just add that to whatever you're drinking. Take it from an old man. The number of headaches I have now is like, or not real headaches, but when you feel it a little bit, is like 99% less than it was before. And I just have an extra glass of water with electrolytes in. Take it from an old man. Helps with the back as well, which I may have mentioned earlier on. God, I'm so old. 40 years of 40k, 50 years of Star Wars and 50th birthday. Damn, I know what party I'll be having next year, Stuart Fields. Can I get a hell yeah? Any thoughts on Reverted to Heresy 2nd edition considering the state of 3rd? I have been playing 2nd edition. There is a 2nd edition Heresy Battle Report film. I've got a friend who's stuck with 2nd. I've got another guy who was talking about it and is coming to play some 2nd because he's stuck with 2nd as well. So there will be some 2nd. Here's the thing. When people say, I've got an idea, can we do this? I'm like, yeah. I had 4 games last week, only filmed 2 of them. I'm like, yeah. I just like telling stories with dice. And that's what 40k and Heresy lets you do. I'll turn 50 next year. Yeah, man. Dude, I'm 53. Add like once a day, every day, glass of water with electrolytes. Trust me, man. Cut my little headaches, little niggles, things like that down by. Mainly, I watched a YouTube video. The internet doesn't lie, you know. The internet doesn't lie. I watched a YouTube video and it was some neurosurgeon dude doing a TED Talk thing. And he was talking about how it helps cure things and the brain and the salts. And that like... This last couple of generations, we're the only couple of generations to drink water like from taps that have come through massive. For a granddad back, or 2, a couple of granddads back, depending on where you are on the world, everyone was drinking out of villages. Everyone was drinking out of wells and streams and had all natural salts in it. All natural salts, all the time. It's what we evolved on. We haven't got enough. And then the electrolytes, that's what they do, and they really help hydrate and do the thing. And the thing, the doctor said something about the brain and the blood and a barrier I say, why are there barriers among us and in our brain? Aren't we all just the same at the end of the day? We need to come together as one under the God Emperor of mankind and take over the galaxy. Suffer not the Xenos to live. What? Do you have a sponsorship? No. See? No sponsorship. Not yet. Not yet. This is not even a sponsored segment. But if you're out there, the kings of the electrolyte world, I'll pimp that. I'll pimp that shit. I believe in that shit. We've got to see some militia and zone mortalis. Yes, okay, tell yourself from 10 years ago. If I could tell myself... Ooh, Marius. If I could tell myself something... If you could tell yourself from 10 years ago something, what would it be? Yeah, dude. I got some personal answers to that. 10 years ago, my mental health was not good. not good. So yeah, I'm gonna I don't want to lie to you guys, but I can't tell you that stuff. The things that I would tell. Listen, I think I watched the Louis C.K. This is not a sponsorship as well. Not either. I like one of the things I like to do. Okay, another one of my hobbies is I watch all the Netflix like stand-up comedy. Well, not all of them. There's a lot of them, but a lot of them. I watch a lot of Netflix 1-hour comedy specials. I don't care who it is. Okay, I don't care. And there's a lot of left and right. Okay, there's a lot of that. And then but it's the internet. You know what's on the internet, guys. I don't know if you know, but there's this thing called the internet, and bloody hell, politics gets everywhere. That's one of the reasons why we keep it off this channel, because this is a channel where but I go on the internet and it's there. But anyway, despite all of that, I watch a lot of it. It's one of the things that I do. And I was watching Louis C.K. and he said that he's focused on living in the moment because the past is such a nightmare that he'd rather not think about that. So, and the future, there's not a lot left, so I'd rather not think about that either. So you just got to kind of live in the moment. Acceptance. We talked about this earlier on in the live stream. That really resonated with me, who's been on a bit of a journey from being 20 years in a factory to DZTV and 8th edition and the heights of COVID. And then YouTube was a smaller place back then, and I was a much bigger person in it. Now YouTube is huge, the 40k community on YouTube. There's so much more content. Like I started before 13 years in August. I started before a lot of people to where we are now. It's and through that, I'm just so pleased to be here. It's just easier to just live in the moment. It's got me all zen. I've hit 53 and I found out what zen is. You get accepting with your hobby, accepting all the things. Okay? I've got a dodgy back. The right knee ain't great. The right eye isn't good. Thank you, Servo Skull. And thank you, Stuart. Rewinded the stream back to the beginning. Hi, Peppermint Shaw. I should pimp Hobnobs. You're right, dude. I should so pimp Hobnobs. Not a sponsor of Hobnobs, but if there are any McVitie kingpins in the chat who want to get in touch, I will pimp that shit because I believe in your product. Oh, dear. Yeah. There's a lot of things I could have told myself 10 years ago. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. God damn it. It's like I thought that, yeah, the teenage parts were bad, but right, guys, lock in, okay? I'm approaching my mid-40s and not coping. Hoping my 50s will be better. Dude, listen. It gets worse and it gets better. Sometimes you roll a bunch of sixes and sometimes you roll a bunch of ones. And if you play the game for long enough, there will come a time when you just roll one after one after one after one after one. But if you wait long enough, this is what I found on my mental health journey. If you wait long enough, one after one after one after one after one after one, talk to people about it. You'll roll a six. You will. The cracks are where the light shines in. Just learn to live in the moment a little bit more. Enjoy those moments when they come. The two little kittens are giving us moments. I put on my Instagram. She, 2 days ago, has made it to the top of the game table. And her brother's up there as well. P90, he respected that shit. He never got up there. Well, you know, old cat. He was a bit fat. No, sorry, he was big boned. He was not fat. She said he was fat. He was not fat. 8 kilos isn't fat for a cat. It is. He was big boned. But he didn't want any part of that. They're testing boundaries. And they make me smile. They make me happy. There's lots of sixes with kittens. Lots of sixes with kittens. I've been turning off the YouTubes and watching the kittens. Like for an hour. I've got the scabs. I've got the scars to prove it. I don't know if you could see that. Those are kitten scratches. You're probably thinking, hey, Winters, why are they so big and thingy bob? Well, you know, you've got to pick a scab. And the other thing is, it doesn't heal like it used to because I'm 53. Okay? Kids, they just bounce. That's why we used to shove them up the chimneys and down the mines. Send them back to the mines, I say. They be loving the Minecraft. France lost, woohoo. You see, being a good Englishman, we wanted them to lose, didn't we? Obviously. But if it was a France-England final, that would be incredible. I guess we'll have to settle for a France-Spanish final. Trafalgar all over again. We're wargamers, lads. The internet memes are going to explode. Just got to get past the goat, Messi himself, and we'll be fine. Every time you accidentally knock the desk, my God goes mad. Right, listen. Where are we? Zone Mortalis. Lock in. Chat. Stuart, you still here? What we're going to do is I want to talk about Zone Mortalis because it's actually good fun. I want to talk about Zone Mortalis because I've got... Stuart, you're still here. I need you to catch me if I do... Right, listen. This will probably be cut out for a live... No, 1 minute. I was thinking about making a video about this book, right? So I want to talk about it. And then if I don't screw this up, I will cut it out of the live stream later. And then what we can do is we can talk about what I want to say after I've said it for the thing. Deal? That's what we're doing. So lock in. Thank you, Servo Skull. Here and listening. Good. No idea what Zone Mortalis is. Zone Mortalis, so in Horus Heresy, Zone Mortalis literally translates a death zone. These are corridor fighting, room-to-room fighting in Horus Heresy. And they've released rules for 3rd edition. And they're good. Death Death Zone. These are the hive cities, the underground bunker complexes, the space hulks of the Great Crusade. They've been part of the Horus Heresy rule set for a while. They've released them into third, and I'm excited to play the game. I'm excited. So Zone Mortalis gets me excited for Horus Heresy 3 because 1,500 points, which is perfect for new players. Nice little start for them. But also there's no tanks, no Spartans, things like that. So small force. But if you're bringing no tanks, no big things, then 1,500 points of mainly infantry or some dreadnoughts as well. That's a lot of bang. So that's nice. And it's got 6 turns, not the 4 from the main rulebook. It's got 6 missions in it, not the 3 from the main rulebook. So there's more Warhammer there. So the missions, more Warhammer. Points, perfect size. 6 missions. 6 turns. 6 turns actually. 6 turns can be random. I think it's on a 3+. And 1,500 points. Sounds good. Now, the missions themselves, there's a problem in the Horus Heresy with Line and Vanguard and things like that. But they kind of fixed it for Zone Mortalis. What you do is you basically get a point for everything you kill. Easy. Point for everything you kill. If you have Vanguard, instead of getting that point for everything you kill, you get Vanguard X for everything you kill. So it makes Vanguard stronger. What about Line? Line is the strong thing that breaks the game. Well, Line doesn't get you any points for Line. What you do is you get points for killing people and holding sectors. Point for killing, point for Vanguard X killing and holding sectors. And what Line does is increase the number of models you have in a sector, not the points for controlling that sector. And you get points for slaying people in challenges. Kill, hold. Simple. 6 turns, 1,500 points. Oh, that was good. Someone's cooking with these ones. And there's new detachments with Dreads and Veterans and Terminators. The new detachments. It's also got new detachments in it. So more ways to combine your army, put your army together. And basically the new detachments are, so there's a primary in the Horus Heresy thing, but in this one, the 1,500 points, you need new detachments. So you can ignore that primary, new this one. And this one is basically a way of allowing you, helping you bring more Terminators, more Dreadnoughts, more Veterans, which is good because at 1,500 points, you're only going to have 1 or 2 commanders, maybe. So, and commanders unlock slots. So having a new primary, which is more generous at unlocking slots, offsets the fact that you might have less commanders to offset the slot. More ways to play. I like more ways to play. That's good too. As for the rules, in Zone Mortalis, you can't move faster than 9 inches in confined spaces. This is good. It literally says in the rules section, this is why you know someone's cooking with this book, like you're in a Zone Mortalis is a death zone. The name is on the tin. This is a crumbling hive city. There's pitfalls, there's pipes, there's exploding barrels around. Have you ever played Dark Tide? Have you ever played Dark Tide? Rush really fast around on Dark Tide. Good game, by the way. Shout out Dark Tide. Rush really fast on that one. See how far you get. You can't move faster than 9. If you do want to move faster than 9, you can actually. But then you've got a roll of dice. It's a risk-reward thing. It's a chance for Warhammer. Hey, I've got jump pack troops. I'm going to use my jump packs to accelerate 12 inches down this corridor. Well, you might go splat. So if you roll 1s, you just pick models up. You don't take hit. It's removed from play. So you can go faster than 9 on a jet bike through a hive city, but you might die on a 1. I like that. It's a little bit of Warhammer. We haven't had this huge risk-reward of... Do you remember in 40k where you had a shock attack gun, which was literally filled with snotlings, which would open pockets in the warp, and hopefully, from an orc point of view, open a pocket in the warp inside the left trouser leg of a Terminator, and then deposit snotlings through that hole into the warp, into the left leg of that Terminator. And then what you have is howling, screaming, mad snotlings who have just passed through the warp in your left leg. It would kill Terminators hilarious. However, if you rolled a 1, the orc would teleport himself and things went splat. We've got that back in Warhammer. I like that. So a nice, simple rule. It's on smaller boards as well. So not a restriction to how fast you can move. Well, it's not a restriction. It's a risk. You can go faster than 9. But most boards are like 3 foot by 4 foot. So it's smaller than, I think all boards are 3 foot by 4 foot. So mainly infantry, risk reward on the movement on a 3 foot by 4 foot board. It's nice. These ideas just, it sounds good. More rules, chat. More rules. When you fire blast markers inside a building, the blast marker hits the side of a wall and stops. So blast markers are obviously more effective firing missiles down a corridor. There's a new rule called blind panic, which is if you're running away, if one of your units is routed and run away and passes another unit that has a stasis on, like say they're pinned or suppressed or whatever, and they run past them, then at the end of the shooting phase, the unit that's pinned or suppressed has to take a morale test to blind panic, because they see the others can run by and blind panic, and if they fail, they run as well. So you have units breaking units. Do you know where we have a rule like that? In Old World. Units potentially breaking units. Only if they have a stasis on and only if they move within 2. And I like the fact that it's after the shooting phase. You see, someone was cooking in this rule set. They said which step it happens in. So the unit that is stunned, suppressed, whatever, does have a chance to shoot. Their buddies are running past them. They're like, oh, got your back. Take a leadership test. No, Freddy shit the bed. We're gone. And they run after them as well. It's a great little mechanic that I like. Blind panic. That's good. Simple as well. There's doors in Zone Mortalis, which you can open and close and charge or shoot and destroy. Armor 12, 3 hull points. Any glancing hit just takes a hull point off, and penetrating hits do what penetrating hits do. You can open and close them. There's rules for cogitators on one of the maps to open and close doors. There's doors also can restrict movement. So most doors will not restrict the movement of anything that is a normal door. But normal doors have an armor value of 3. So things like dreadnoughts, which have 6 wounds, can't walk through a normal door. And basically, if your bulky X is equal or higher than the value of the door, then you can't set up, charge, or walk through it. It's a door. So on your Zone Mortalis boards, you can have bigger doors or smaller doors. You can have places where the dreadnoughts can't go or the robots can't go. Awesome. Small secluded corridors, things like that. Nice. It's baked into the rules. Yeah. So that's a nice little mechanic. There's barricades. Sit down for this one, chat. You are not going to believe this. Terrain rules in Horus Heresy. No. In Zone Mortalis, they've introduced a new terrain mechanic, which really should have been in the main rulebook, called barricades. The design team. Someone has remembered that you can get cover if you're not in cover, but rather behind cover. Like, not just happens in a war game, but happens in a war. You might be in the street, okay? You're in the street. But I am firing through this building that's firing through that church, and you're half a mile away. You've definitely, So there's barricades. They've introduced rules for barricades. Hallelujah. We've now got rules for just terrain. And they're simple. And the rules for barricades is this. If you're firing at a model on the other side of a barricade, it gets a 5-up save if it is closer to the barricade than you are. So basically, if you're neck and neck at the barricade and you're firing mass reactive rounds, one-handed over the top of the barricade, no one's getting cover from that because you're as close as they are. So it works at point-blank range shooting. But if you're further afield out, if you're further away, if they're closer to the barricades than you are, then they're getting a barricade save. Barricades in Horus Heresy. You watch how quickly the rest of the community pivots and puts this barricade rule into Horus Heresy 3. That's what barricades do, particularly in the 31st millennium when we're not talking about some tires here. We're talking about barricades. You and your opponent has to say, nah, that's a bit of scrap, and that doesn't count. But here is, so barricades are in heresy. Who'd have thunk it? That's pretty much it for the main rule changes, as far as I can tell, in Zone Mortalis, which means that it's good and it's simple. It's easy for the noobs. I'm interested in closing doors in Just Craig's face and using barricade rules and heresy. That's it for the main rules and the main changes. Not 20, not 30. Just those simple changes. It's good for noobs as well. It makes narrative sense to me. Then there's some additional rules as well. Here's the juicy stuff. Here's the extra stuff. Reinforcements. When you bring reinforcements on to a Zone Mortalis board, you can bring them on your edge, the side edges, your opponent's edge, an elevator. You can deep strike. Any prime slots in the Force organization, you can buy teleporter for that prime slot. And you can buy, looking at the different, there's new detachments, new ways that you can assemble your force. And there's a prime on veterans, and one of them, there's a prime on Terminators and another one, and there's a prime on a Dreadnought. You can have a teleporting in Dreadnought. Here's the other crazy thing about this teleport rule. You could just die. If you're teleporting in to a Zone Mortalis, before you make the roll, before you put anything down, you roll a dice, and on a 1, there's been a teleport mishap and that unit is destroyed. Just remove it from play. No one gets any victory points for destroying that unit or losing that unit. It's just dead. Reserves. You can come in. You can, on all sides. If you come in from your side, you can charge. If you come in from the sides or the opponents, you can't charge. If you choose to teleport in, you can't charge. And on a 1, you could die. Just like that other rule we mentioned earlier on. This terrible consequence thing. On a chance for dice to tell stories. It's glorious. I like it. A teleport mishap could be game changing and win and lose you the game. These are the kind of extremes they pulled out of this edition of Horus Heresy that you could tell they didn't want in this edition of Horus Heresy. Because this edition of Horus Heresy, they've gone out of their way to try and balance some of the extremes, and now they just put one straight back in to Zone Mortalis. Glorious. Thanks for having it back. I want to roll a 1 on one of my units, and I want my opponent to roll a 1 on one of their units. I don't want them to roll a 1 all the time, but I want that story to happen sometimes, and hopefully it doesn't cost the entire game. But then that risk reward, then how do you're not dumping in a unit of 10 Terminators on the teleporter, are you? You're not. You've got to think. Cersei the cat, thank you for the donation. There's a new advanced reaction in there called Take Cover. Why is this not in the main edition? This is a glorious one. Basically, it's for anyone. You declare the advanced reaction, you roll a dice, you move that far, and you get a 6-up shrouded. It's going to help in Zone Mortalis down these corridors. Like you've just stuck out at the end of the corridor a little bit, and you think, well, I'm 3 inches out. Am I going to declare an advanced reaction and duck back in? I get a 6-up shrouded if I fail to get back in, but also it says on the advanced reaction that after the unit moves, the targeting unit can then change the selecting target thing. they can change targets if you're ducked out of the way. And also at 1,500 points, you're only going to get 2 reactions in games of Zone Mortalis. So do I spend it on that one there? But I've got a las cannon team over there. Shall I hold on to my reaction for return via reaction? It's a nice one. Take cover. 6 up, move. 6 up, shrouded, move. Particularly in corridors. It'll have the, again, risk reward, chance to tell stories by playing the game. Good. I like that rule. Sounds nice. I want to see. It's a chance for Warhammer to happen. I want to see that Warhammer happen in some urban environment with the traitors versus loyalists and terminators firing at each other, las cannons exploding overhead. I mean, I can see that. I want to play that game. They've got rules for cogitators, rules for collapsing areas of the structure, rules for complete nighttime, but all of these are optional. You can choose to put them in if you want to. Rules for using blips if you want to stay hidden from each other and do some alien shit before one of your units can see one of their units and then they appear. There's rules for that, optional rules for that. Hell yeah, sounds good. And 6 missions. They put 3 in the main rulebook. There's 6 in here. They all look good. And they're, 5 turns and you roll a dice. And on the dice, 3+, you get a 6th turn. More Warhammer. There's some new units in the book as well. Veteran breachers and veteran despoilers. Basically despoilers with 2 wounds and breachers with 2 wounds that are really expensive and some people might be excited about. There's like tech marines for guard. There's guard, solar auxilia with shields and shotguns. There's a Castellax in it with a flamer on its head, which it tells you. There's some new models in there. Here's the thing about these new models. They're not like DLC you have to have, you know. They're in other editions, where are we? In other books they brought out, there is units in some of the other books that they brought out, and if you want the rules for those units, you have to get the books. So, for example, the Whirlwind, classic vehicle in Horus Heresy, that Whirlwind is locked behind some other bit of content, and you need the book to get the rules for the Whirlwind, and that's why Whirlwinds aren't selling. In this one, there's some units in the book which are nice, but none of them you have to have. So that's nice. They're just additions if you want them. That's nice from a gamer's point of view. But they also, in there, they talk about how they don't sell some of these models and that you used to have to convert these models using kits from other kits. Like the Castellax with the flamer, it's the rules in here. We don't sell that model. You're going to need a heavy flamer. The guys with the shields, we don't sell that. You need to go, they say go to Necromunda. Get the Necromunda stuff. And that's where you get the rules from. You're shouting out Necromunda. You know what system used to do this a lot? Where you used to kit bash miniatures. It was Horus Heresy. In 2nd edition, there's so much kit bashing and personalizing your army. They brought that back in Zone Mortalis. Longer missions, longer turns, kit bashing stuff. It's a nod. It's a nod to the old way of doing things, which is probably why I'm very excited about playing a bit of Zone Mortalis. There is a paywall behind playing this, though. There is a paywall behind playing Zone Mortalis, though. You have to buy, one, the book, which is 15 quid from Element Games. Check out the link in the video description below. Go through that link. Seriously, helps. And use code WIN13. You get extra crystals. I get extra crystals. It's good for everybody. They know they can. But yeah. Element Games, 15 quid, but that's just the side of things. You've got Zone Mortalis, fighting in corridors. Now, there's different ways to do this. You can buy the Zone Mortalis guitars from Games Workshop if you want to sell your kidney. You can buy Zone Mortalis bricks from Necromunda. They do Zone Mortalis walls and things. You can get it that way. So those are the official ways of doing it, and the very expensive ways of doing it. But GameMat.eu and UrbanMats.com do Necromunda tile setups, wall setups, and you can make rather easily a Zone Mortalis yourself if you're into kit bashing and model making and things like that. That's the paywall behind it. You need the book, you need some stuff. Fortunately for me, I've got lots of walls from GameMat.eu and UrbanMats.com and lots of their lovely mats. So it's easy for me to set it all up and play it. So there is a bit of a paywall, but I'm very excited to play this game, which is good because it's always good to be excited to play. It's what I live for. I like the Warhammers. I've been in the Warhammer since 1984. And those moments, they come round every now and then where you pick up a book. You pick up a book and you go, yeah, I want to play that. And this isn't sponsored by Games Workshop, by the way. They didn't send me this. I bought this one. I wanted it. And it's good. So, yeah, I think that's all I've got to say. Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say about Zone Mortalis. I think it does seem like there's a bit of a paywall, but it's not that bad, particularly if you make your own stuff. Also, if you consider that it's 1,500 point games rather than 3,000 point games, I think they put a bit more narrative back into the rule set. They're allowing for more Warhammer to happen in this rule set. They're allowing for conversions to happen in this rule set, and it seems like a move in the right direction, and I'm excited for it. But I'm interested to hear what you think. So comment in the comment section below. Let me know. Cut something of that into a video. Put it on, I think. What do we think, chat? What do we think? What do we think? Did any of that sound good to you? See, here's another thing. It's so easy for them to bring a lot of second edition Horus Heresy players back. They just need to publish a book like this and call it Rights of War and have 100 Rights of War in it, which allows some of the old players to play some of their armies again that they can't anymore, and in the back have 6 narrative missions like the old ones that they had in it, and maybe a little errata saying barricades. This is how we're going to have some barricades. Let people play, man. Dave Meakin, thank you for your £10. GG's to Dave. Thank you. I love you, Dave. Thank you. Can we get some GG's to Dave? Great to see you're enthused about this. Are we going to see a battle report soon? Yes. The idea is Just Craig is coming around on Friday. We're going to film one and put it out on Sunday. And I will not have any mistakes on my battle reports. All my battle reports are going to be flawless blades from now on. Except for the one coming out tomorrow, where I call the Black Templars the Emperor's Children for about half of it, because the Emperor's Champion was coming up, and I'm doing a thing, it's playing a thing, and did it an Emperor's Champion, and I'm calling Black Templars Emperor's Children. I'm sorry, Internet, okay? I'm goddamn sorry. GG's. Zone Mortalis looks pretty good for third, yeah. We all hope for Heresy 4 will go back to... they're so screwed when it comes to Heresy 4, because... if they go back to, like, say Heresy 4 is what Heresy 2.1 should have been, then that'll piss off all the new players that came into the hobby. And there's no guarantee it will get the old players back in. What they need to do is pivot slowly over time, and the Zone Mortalis might be the first book which is pivoting us slowly over time. But yeah, I mean, Heresy 4, is it going to be, can they? Who knows? And also Heresy 3, as I said, it's good. It's good. I have been in the hobby since 1984, and there's some war games that I've preferred over other war games. I preferred second to third, but I've played all the war games, and I'm going to keep playing all the war games. It's just acceptance, guys. You eventually reach acceptance. This is what this hobby is. Or you leave, or you stick in an edition. And a lot of people leave. And Games Workshop are okay with that, because 80% of their audience isn't us. 80% of their audience, of their market, are collectors, not gamers. And in their annual report, their yearly thing, that it's in there. It's yeah, churn. And they got rich. They got so rich. And they're churning out so much more. And I love it. And some of it I love more than others. Some bits I'm going to play more than others. And I'm looking forward to elves. Space elves on dinosaurs. 40 years of 40k next year. And they just figured that out. Dinosaur cell. What else? Minions. They need the minion cell. And then they need the Simpsons crossover. And it turns into Call of Duty Warzone with Homer Simpson YY no-scoping you off the top of a house from 200 meters away. And you're like, I'm getting too old for this shit. And that's 40k. Hell yeah, that sounded good. I love fleeing through stasis and making a unit break. Great. Accelerating further than 9 inches and rolling a 1 and dying. Great. Teleport mishap into the middle of a hive ruin on a 1. Death. Great. Let the dice cook. Let the spice flow. Amaze, amaze, amaze. Watch Project Hail Mary, guys. It's good, good, good. Right, that's it. We are wrapping up. This is my 2-minute warning. This evening, we competed with the French and the Spanish. Okay? We competed with both of them, and at the start of the stream, I had 25 viewers. At the end of the stream, I'm on 57. We doubled it. Mind you, the French versus the Spanish football match ended. And then the England is tomorrow. I wonder what Sultan's doing, whether he wants to watch the football with me. I'll go to his. She doesn't watch the football. I don't watch the football. But it's a semi. And it is the RGs. Come on now. We like a good war game. Everyone in this channel, everyone in this VOD, come on now. You know what I'm talking about. We love Rorke's Drift, okay? Said it. We like a bit of Blitz. Right? We like that. We do like a, you know, we do like a bar, a BAR. We do like one of them. We do like that. We do like Agincourt, you know. 1066, the French. We were speaking French for hundreds of years. We do like a bit of 1066. The Vikings forced march down from the north. Harold, quarter of his army was some of the Vikings he fought last Tuesday, and he's on a forced march. What goddamn men did we breed back then across the world? Not just here in England, but Europe, worldwide. Dude. Imagine cutting someone's head off. Hell yeah, I'm here for it. That's why I wargame. I want to cut someone's head off. I'm a machete away, I tell you. A machete. You can buy machetes, right? It's a miracle that us wargamers are not just beheading each other every time. God damn it. Who doesn't like a nice beheading? The French, they like a nice beheading, don't they? They love a beheading, the French. Right, we're wrapping up. Cheers, bud. 1.5 Sons of Horus will be boarding your ship on Friday. Hell yeah, let's do it. Old gamers like us might eventually stick to an edition. Yep, you either leave. It's hard to stay in a hobby, man. And this hobby moves around you. The lore changes, the paints change, the miniatures change, the game change, everything change. So either you change with it, or you leave, or you stick. You've got that choice. And some people leave to other editions instead. And they don't leave, but they leave to heresy. And then that changes. So they're leaving to Old World. And then Old World, they decided not to change it. They just decided to drop the FAQ into the book. Is the Old World release a reaction to what happened with Heresy 3? You can't tell me that they weren't cooking something up about Old World. There's rules writers in a room at Games Workshop that had paid Monday to Friday to write rules about Old World. You can't tell me they weren't cooking up something. And they haven't cooked up something. They have cooked up something. Over the last couple of years, they've definitely cooked up things, stuff and things. They're paid to. They must have. And they're releasing a big update and an updated rulebook. And in the rulebook, it's just facts and erratas. And none of those rules come. It's just the same. Because some people leave the... Have they figured out that they can have both? They can have the people that just accept the live content churn, live service content churn, like me, like many of you, the ones that stick, the ones who just, yeah. And they can have, I mean, look, you can play Battlefield, your live content, thingy bob stuff. You can play Warzone, you can play all those games. But there are other games, the stable systems, the WoWs, you know, the ones that have stayed the same forever. CSGO hasn't changed, does it? It's still the same game from 20 years ago. I mean, it's had a few updates, but... and they can have both. Anyway, I expect the French are not for one. Yes. No, usually a football fan. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, this house is going to get loud. Yeah, man. It's going to be fun. Right, I'm going to be off, guys. It has been glorious talking to you this evening. I might have another one of those lovely pills before I go to sleep because my back is feeling glorious. And they make me feel funny. I do like them. God damn. I'm getting old. Push the things. Thanks for your support. I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed this VOD as much as I did. Play your hobby. Play your edition. Play your game. Play your war game. Whatever it might be. We're all war gamers. Some companies churn out some models, some systems, and some, but we're all the same. And be excellent to each other. Happy wargaming.